Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for checking out this video. This video is all about transforming your finances. First and foremost, it starts with your budget because the budget is the foundation of your financial plan. So I'm going to give 6 steps to transform your finances starting with your budget. First, we need to track all of the dollars that are coming inside of your household. That means your income streams. If it's 1099 income, W-2 income, income that's coming from child support or investments, whatever it is, we need to track every single dollar that's coming inside of your household. And we're going to do that on a monthly basis. We're going to track our budget, and a budget template is going to be created every single month for your budget. Step number 2 is we're going to track the dollars that are going outside of your household. Those are your expenses. We're tracking every single dollar. So we're going to start with those fixed expenses, your rent, your mortgage, car notes, those items that have the same amount each and every month. We're tracking those. In addition to that, we're tracking those variable expenses. That can be your utility bills, whether it's gas or electric, that can fluctuate depending on the month of the year, but also the season within the year. Then we're going to get into those miscellaneous items as well. When you think about personal care, when you think about the grocery, gas, things of that sort, which can fluctuate significantly depending on the month, the season, depending on what's going on. If it's your birthday month, things can fluctuate pretty significantly, or a relative's birthday or an anniversary. And so we're going to keep track of that because those particular items can bust your budget. And so when you think about personal care, do you get massages? Do you get your hair done, nails done, things like that? So we're going to track every single dollar when it comes to that. Even when it comes to eating out, do you eat out a lot? When you think about happy hours, getting drinks. So we're going to keep track of those dollars as well and give an estimate. When you do a budget, it's all about projected numbers, projected spending, but also at the end of the month, and I'm going to talk about that in a later step, we're going to do the actuals and do a comparison as far as what you planned on spending versus what you actually spent your money on. And so that's step number 2. Remember, step number 1 is we're tracking the income that's coming inside of the household. Number 2 is tracking your expenses that are going outside of the household. Step number 3 is we're going to set financial goals. With your budget, a lot of times we keep the budget in our heads. And so a lot of times we can't plan because we have numbers in our head, but we're not able to strategically plan. What are we going to do with these dollars? Outside of this planning month, how are we going to spend our dollars? Are we planning on going on a vacation? Are we planning on buying a house in the next couple of months or in the next year or so? That's when we have to set financial goals. We have to talk about spending. We have to talk about saving or investing, making sure that we're putting money away, whether it's for an emergency account, for a vacation, purchasing a home, paying down debt. We need to have a plan of action. And so that's what setting up goals, but also tracking those goals as well. So if you're planning on saving money, we have to make sure we're treating that just like an expense. Because otherwise, whatever money that we have left after paying our bills, that's what we typically use for savings. No, what we're actually going to do is we're going to set a number, just like we have a number for or an amount for our mortgage, our car payments, student loans. We're going to have an amount designated for savings, an amount designated for investing, just making sure that we're paying our debts down. We're going to track those dollars as well. So remember, when it comes to saving, when it comes to investing, we're going to make sure we're treating those as an expense, just like any other bill that we're utilizing or that's in our budget as well. Number 4 is we're going to create that budget plan. We're going to see, especially on the expenses side, we're going to put those in 2 categories, whether it's eating out, groceries, gas, personal care, things of that sort. So we're going to have an itemized amount for all of the expenses, and also seeing what falls in between the cracks. Because remember, we're tracking every single dollar. And so a lot of times we're just looking at the big ticket items. Like I said, the mortgage, rent, car payments, student loans, if we have credit cards, things of that sort. But we don't think about sometimes when we may make that Chick-fil-A run or a fast food run, or if somebody has a happy hour, or if it's your child's birthday, you're planning for that and you do an activity or you do an event for that. A lot of times we don't plan for that. We just make it happen. Or if it comes to shopping, if you see a pair of shoes or you want to buy a suit, a hat, things of that sort, we don't plan for that. A lot of times we just look at it as, oh, I have money in my bank account. I can buy a pair of shoes. I can do this and I can do that. No. Step number 4 is all about putting that budget plan together and sticking to that plan. And so that creates that voice in your head and says, okay, instead of buying those pair of shoes that are $500, I can put that money towards buying down or paying down my debt. Or I can use that $500 to save so that I can purchase that house in a few months. That's what a budget, a written budget gives you. It gives you that strategic plan so that you can make future decisions with that budget. And that's what a budget is all about. It allows you to make those future decisions, which makes your job a lot easier. You don't have to think, oh, do I have money to pay for this or to buy that? I want to buy a pair of shoes and what have you. No, all of your dollars are already allotted for. And so no, you can't spend any extra money to buy a suit or to buy somebody tickets to a concert and what have you. That money is already allocated for investing or for saving. Or if you did allocate that in a miscellaneous account or a miscellaneous bucket, then you can do that. If you can't, that's what you can use your budget for as an excuse to say no. And no, a lot of times, is not a bad thing. It allows you to have that gratification, that future gratification, instead of that instant gratification. A lot of times we want to make ourselves feel better, go shop and do things today versus making a plan so that you can enjoy that tomorrow. I hope that makes sense for step number 4. Step number 5 is to make sure we implement that. And so at the beginning of the month, we're going to plan how we're going to spend our money. But then at the end of the month, we're going to do an inventory and we're going to do an analysis on how do we do. We planned on spending this way, taking our bank statements. Did we execute our plan? Yes or no? Or figure out ways that we can learn from the lessons that we've taken or that we've done throughout that particular month. And so that will help us for the next month. Did I spend too much this month on groceries? Did I eat out too much this particular point? Or did I cut back in these areas so I'm able to adjust my budget accordingly? I'm able to take that $200 that I was able to save in this particular category, and I can use that to save or to pay down debt even further. And so that's what looking at your budget and making sure you're managing and tracking your budget, that's what it will allow you to do. And it'll allow you to make easier decisions when it comes to your finances. And the last step would be making sure that you do reviews at the end of the month, that you do reviews quarterly, and that you're consistently looking at your budget as well. Like I said, just re-emphasizing the fact that your budget isn't just to be written down once at the beginning of the year. Say you've done it, you did a brain dump and that's it. No, you should be tracking it every single day, every single week, every single month to see where you can cut spending, to see where you're saving, to also track your goals. And you need to see if you have a goal that's a year out, every single month, you should be tracking towards that particular goal or seeing if you're on track for that. Maybe you have to sacrifice in a particular area. Maybe you have to boost up savings even more. So figuring out where you can cut from a particular category and use it to pay down debt more, to increase saving, whatever it is. But you have to make sure you prioritize your goals as well. is you may want to do 3 different things. You may want to pay off a credit card. You may want to save for a house. You may want to increase savings. Which one is your priority? Because then you can use that saving, if buying a house is a priority, to put more money towards your down payment for buying a house. If it's paying down debt, that extra money can go towards paying down debt. And then once you pay down the debt where you need to, then you can increase saving. And then you can look towards purchasing a house, whatever it is. And so that's what it's all about. Steps 5 and 6 are very crucial. And those are about prioritizing your goals, as well as making sure that you're constantly reviewing your budget. So I hope that makes sense. Once again, this is Larry Poteet Jr. I'm your real estate agent, as well as your personal finance consultant. I wanted to get on this video to tell you about ways to transform your finances. And remember, transforming your finances starts with the foundation, and the foundation is your budget. So if you need assistance with that, I do consultations with my clients. My information is below in the description box, as well as I do have a workbook that goes through your budget as well, your budget. Also, I have savings plans as well as investment plans. And these are key, and it's a comprehensive workbook. It would allow you to track your budget, your savings plan, and your investments every single month. We do quarterly reviews, actually monthly reviews. So everything that I described is actually in this workbook. And so that will be very beneficial. In addition to that, I do have an ebook that I go over budgeting, saving, and investing as well. So these are key resources that will help you on your financial journey. So if you need a consultation or you want to pick up these particular products, feel free to look at the description box below and grab those items or schedule that appointment. So I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks for checking out this video. Have a blessed day.